I'll start off with the intro, and I just want to read this part, and then I'll play, and then you can read it go off. No problem. So just give them a taster. Yeah. No You know, when you're going into the executive area there, as you're walking downstairs on the left hand floor, that's my friend's father, Sita. Oh, yeah. Afghanistan. Is it? I didn't even look at it. Oh, nice. Father and son. Yeah, I think the father and mother had a break. Right? The mother and father broke. Yes. So they had the other, I think they both got individuals. Oh, okay. What they call that linen or something? I just know they got that one. Now they have a no. The new lifestyle center. Oh yeah. Also. The center is taken off. It's taken off. Yeah. You went overseas before the show. Oh, okay. 2 weeks before. Yeah. Overseas buying. Oh, okay. Step into Grey Street, the Casbah precinct of Durban, alive with the promise of a new year. Wow! Yeah, the arcades glow with the Souk and golden bangle shop fronts dressed in lights and the air rich with the flavor of samosas, incense, and of course sweet meats. Children laugh at the adhan of the Juma Masjid and bells of the Emmanuel Cathedral ring out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Echoes of the Casbah. You will be back Governor and these neighbors. الحمد لله رب العالمين والرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. All praise to you, all the Lord, cherish and nourish and sustain the universe, the most gracious, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Allah to you that we worship you and guide you to seek. Ya Allah, give us the straight path and our blessings, the mercy of our greetings, salam, salutations, and to be here on the first Friday, the first Juma of the New Year Faisal. Yes, indeed. At the Souk, we are broadcasting live from the Durban Summer Souk. And if you're coming through here, come down to the crafter, the Al-Ansar crafter, as you're entering or exiting the building. We are sitting right here on the left-hand side. You can have a look and chat to Faisal and myself. But today we're talking New Year's in the Casbah Faisal because New Year certainly had some sort of flavor, it had a certain way of presenting itself in the Casbah, and I'm sure we've got a lot to talk about. But how's your year been, the start of your year doing this so I want to ask you a question. You be one more day. Yeah, one more day. What happened? On the night of the 31st, you make all your resolutions. On the 3rd of January, that's it. So one more day. So if you don't know yet, the Summer Souk, the Durban Summer Souk goes on until and including Sunday. Sunday is when they're giving away all that big car and all that stuff. So do be here for that. But nonetheless, Faisal, you've been here like every day so far, am I right? So what are you going to do on Monday? Yeah, I'm sure all of you, all the people that have been working, Asif as well, all going to get withdrawal symptoms. Like, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? Well, as we said, families, they weave their way through the crowds, greeting neighbors, exchanging gifts. Remember, children used to dart past with fireworks in hand, laughter echoing against the walls of temples, mosques, churches, standing side by side. This is the Casbah at New Year's, a kaleidoscope of cultures, a sanctuary of resilience, and a marketplace of memory. Every corner hums with renewal, every greeting carries hope, every flavor tells the story of a people who made Durban their home. So, Basil, strictly speaking, this is not really New Year's for us. But
for them, regulated
Victoria,
so although we don't celebrate, but
we acknowledge it,
acknowledge
that it's a general thing. And you would get everybody, brothers as well, they would greet each other, you know, to say Happy New Year and stuff like that. Indeed. But you know, there was a special thing about this time of the year in the Casbah. As I said, tradition meets celebration, and the new year begins with some sort of new beginning. You know, how we are going to approach this year. So, as I said, it may not be New Year's for us, but it is something that we'll also come back to work or go back to school with a new vision for the year. And certainly that was something that in the Casbah was prevalent. We would start the year with fresh. It was an easy-going feeling, wasn't it? You know, I was driving into the Souk earlier on today. I was getting here about maybe I think almost 4. As I was driving in, I drove past town last week, and I looked at the weather, and I thought to myself, what would we be doing right now in Queen Street? It would be one of those afternoons where we would just be sort of sitting there, relaxing, talking about stuff, you know, easy going life, Basil. There's nothing complicated about it. There's a game on. And if there was a ball, you get 3 guys kicking the ball on one side, 3 guys playing with the bottle caps, 3 guys just sitting talking nonsense. And you didn't have to have money. You didn't have to have a bank balance. You didn't have to have a credit card. You didn't have to have airtime. Basil, we love the dream life.
Absolutely. You know, it was
So the beginning of the year, you know, we finish off Christmas stuff as well, and the festivities of Christmas, and we hit New Year's. And we spoke about it the other day. Back in our day, Faisal, it was only after today when you walked into shops when you see back to school.
Yes.
Did I tell you about 3 weeks before Christmas I saw back to school? 2 weeks before Christmas, back to school. I mean, that's just crazy. But
I think it's better. Everybody can get
just looking now with your parents' cap on.
Yes.
When you think about it with your schoolboy cap on, you didn't want to see back to school. So you want to see it. You want to see it like at least a week after New Year's. But you know, Basil, the shops. Let's talk about the shops as well, because there was a new thing. The shops were still decorated with a bit of a Christmas flair. Okay, but then as you would hit the 2nd or the 3rd, well maybe the 3rd, not the 2nd of January, the 3rd when things would start again. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes. So when you would go in from the 5th onwards or whatever it is, you then see all the sales happen. You know, all the Christmas things that you bought will probably be reduced. And they also start taking down all that Christmas decoration, which means they would also redress the windows. We didn't think about it back then, but you would walk down a little bit of a refreshed Grey Street. It had different things in the windows. The windows were set because if we walk down Grey Street like how we did on the regular, you just saw the same window every day. But a new year would sort of change that. So you know, Grey Street, now called Yusuf Dali Street, was the heart of the Muslim community. There were shops, sari shops, spice shops, food shops, arcades were bustling. What was your sort of famous or your favorite arcade? Or what is the arcade that you went down more often? About? Okay. I thought you were going to say Kismet Arcade.
No, this one we had friends living there. Yes. Friends. Go there, downstairs. We live in downstairs. And sometimes that was like the but it was very good. You go from base to the road and you finish your exhibition. The reason why you're coming back to the rest of the next
But just arcade had a bit of a
avoid
play. It had like a, I don't know how to express it, but it like was not, it wasn't from South Africa.
it looked very Indian.
Rockanish, India-ish.
Yeah. So you have to be 7 waves there. Logo for the top. Yeah. So, but actually, why I used to jet for yes, and but there was a shop there. And Casbah. And but yeah. So you have to open there to get
There was a shop between Danji's and Patel's now.
Yeah.
And there was a stationery shop there. I remember going in there. Premier Book Bazaar. That's right. But there was one last stop. You forgot to buy that pencil and you passed all the shops, school supply store in Kalas. Because once you passed school supply store, that was it. You didn't have whatever you needed, but that was it. But we'd like to hear from you. We got the show early today for you. So, we start at 8:30. So WhatsApp us on the 060-904-1056. 060-904-1056. We are broadcasting live here from the Durban Souk. And if you are around the Souk and you're listening, then come up to the crafter and you can also talk to us as well. We love to hear from you. We're talking about New Year's and of course anything Casbah related as well.
Sure, you remember the share, of course. Sure, and bring that memory.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good.
We got 4 minutes to the news.
Sorry?
We got 4 minutes to the news.
Right. We'll go on now, just now. Go right up to the news.
See your WhatsApp messages?
Now I'm looking.
I told him to send it to your phone. Yes.
Got your iPhone or so WhatsApp?
Oh, well. It's got everything. Okay, he's gonna go straight to the news.
Check my phone.
Yeah, because it's nearly time.
We finish at 9:30, huh? Sorry, Manja's inside.
Right in and on the right, yes.
Right corner.
Buddha.
Mandra. Actually, Mandra is just Mandra. Okay, he said you can come back now. He said you can come back now and then we will go to the news.
I'm good. Why is he playing that again?
Enjoy the show.
Okay. It's picked up. Welcome back again to Echoes of the Casbah. It is now going on to 1 minute up to 9 o'clock. Before we head into the news, we got a message that's come through on the WhatsApp, Basil, and I'd like to read it out. It comes from Brother Faiz, and he says, some of us, including myself, didn't grow up in Durban, but we have a lot of ex-Durbanites in Pietermaritzburg, and I don't understand why they're not so interactive in your program. I just enjoy listening to the nostalgia. Thanks, buddy, for that. Oh, thank you, my brother Faiz. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you, whether you're in Pietermaritzburg or whether you are in Durban. Send us, yes, wherever you are, send us your messages, 060-904-1056. That's the WhatsApp line, 060-904-1056. And if you're from Pietermaritzburg, big up to our Pietermaritzburg family. If you're from Durban as well, give us a shout. In fact, just talking over dinner a bit earlier, Basil, we had a gentleman from Pietermaritzburg, and we were saying that maybe we should do a Pietermaritzburg thing.
Yes, sometimes, but then you need knowledge.
Yes, exactly. Indeed. So we're talking about New Year's and, of course, doing the Casbah. One of the things, Faisal, that we want to touch on now is that we spoke about the shops.
Yes.
But you remember all the guys that were selling off the crates on the pavement, socks, and
They would just be full.
absolutely
And usually
anything. Exactly. And they had good prices as well. But it was now where they had stock left over and they needed to get rid of it.
Yes.
And you were now going to be able to get it at a better price.
Yes.
But do you think people bargained with those guys as well?
I don't think about
I
it.
don't think they bargained. The price was good.
It was good with you.
Absolutely. So you just knew you were getting a good deal.
Yes. Different.
Yes. What about food? Now, food is not dependent upon the season. The Big Tree Lounge sell their 7 nuts regardless of whether it's Diwali, Eid, Christmas, or whatever. People will still be going there, but there were 1 or 2 things. Do you remember Big Tree Lounge or even hotels? They would have a box, a special box that people from Joburg, whenever they would come down, then they would buy, and that box had an assortment of whatever. Yes, if you bought a box, you're going to get a broad taste of everything that they sell. Because some people may not know the names of certain things.
Yes.
If you had the box,
Yes.
you would try them out. Do you remember those boxes? A lot of people from our town would be buying those boxes. But were you involved in any of the shops? I know you said your uncle's shop, you worked in. When did you have a break before school? Indeed. I think shortly after the New Year period, all the casual workers in shops. Because I think sales dropped as well, isn't it? People now have this thing. You know what they call it now? January.
Yes.
January. Hey, we're going to take a break for the news. It's just a moment after 9 o'clock. We're talking Echoes of the Casbah, 060-9041-1056. Come on, guys. We'd love to hear about anything related to the Casbah's youth buddy governor and this is Radio Avanza. We'll be back. Yes, I see that was my son. What's your son? And that's yes.
Okay.
You come now.
Yeah, I must meet him.
Yeah.
What's he studying?
No. commercial.
Disappear.
Yeah. And that's Hassan's boat.
Okay. I thought so she greeted me, so I was just wondering, I see her in problem. Yeah. So did you meet her since first week?
Oh, that's it. So,
And that's it. You go straight and you go left. You see Sunflower saying go left. And that's a ladies and men facility. You go out of the building on that side. Yeah, I guess second door left. Yeah.
you speak a little bit with that. I don't know whether she's not. You know, Faisal, let me tell you what. This is my impression. I think she's good. Man.
Yes. Very bad.
I think no, I agree with you. I can feel that. You see, we come from an impartial
Yes,
stance.
yes, yes.
She's hurt very bad, and I think she feels that everybody that's associated with him. And we know we say we want to meet you. And I said to myself, it's such a let me just tell you something. It's a mark of respect. We invited him and his parents went to It's a mark of respect. Would you invite your wife to them as well? And he said, no, 100%. I said, because I don't want you to feel that we impartial to anyone.
Yes, yes, yes.
So no, so
did
I
you
said
invite
to
her?
us, no, I said to exactly. Please tell your wife we'd like to invite her. She needs to let us know when you're finished. So I don't know, really.
She need to be pushed up.
It looks like her.
She's not a bad person. She's a good
No, I
person.
believe so.
She's good.
I think she shares. You know, I think she also needs to understand things like
Yes.
we have nothing to do. So come here.
What do you
There's
think?
like a phase up.
Only from houses to houses.
And Sarah, is your dad's friend?
You ducky. I know you.
Your mom too?
I know you.
What?
That's right
I
there.
think I did meet
I didn't see the thing. It said you can only play card under that.
you. You're there and I very close. Likewise.
I just need that here.
Hi, Sarah. You know, Asif. Sarah. Asif is the guy that makes us sound good. We don't sound
He's taking good care of you.
And
The first
I saw
time
your brother.
He's
great.
here.
Sarah, great.
God, that it's a price thing. It's like that hectic
Don't
one
get
that
sick.
goes.
Please don't get when you get sick. And then come and see me before I go.
What's up, anybody?
I'll be around after the show for a short
What's
time.
up?
Like in the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, we're probably gonna go on that round at least.
See me, give me a shout.
Phone me.
Half past be here.
Phone me.
Okay. So Zara, you met Uncle Faisal now, eh?
you take a picture. Take a picture.
She's a lovely little girl. Really. Yeah, she's down to like she just being she's
Looks friendly.
but like we would love to meet him because we want to do that as a mark of respect. But she's
And
not
you're,
reaching out.
I know. And I know her very well.
Yeah. I think you're the only link that to us. I don't even heard anything about her or anything. Messages.
Normally we can crowd around him. Normally we get a lot of people.
There's too many things happening.
Yeah.
Too many things.
If you didn't want this conference,
Today, 10 o'clock, what time?
we want to have much trouble.
Never seen Razia's house.
What's your name?
Yeah.
She's divorced. No, she's divorced.
Hey, Asif.
Ashraf.
Ashraf.
Oh, the husband.
Hello, man.
Let's get that other mic.
Talk to us, man.
I said, get that other mic. The man will talk to
Yeah, of course. Talk to you at your father's shop.
Hey, how is up? You are?
Oh, man.
What's happening?
No, she taught me about something.
Hi, Uncle Faisal.
Which one?
Uncle Faisal.
Where Uncle comes from? I mean, actually, you grew up together for me, Uncle. What's wrong with you?
For all those,
So,
for everybody in town.
I tell everybody on Friday, Wednesday night, you're going to meet all the guys to come to Orient.
Exactly.
Everyone's there.
Yeah. Okay.
Ashraf's the youngest of everyone.
I'm sure. His daughter and son appear in my show very often.
Okay.
He bought biogenetics.
Biogenetics.
Yeah, I know. And I spoke to her. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Relax now, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Looking relaxed. I told you that time. Just remember I chatted with you earlier.
Why is he left? Did he
Because
retire?
he's retired.
Wow. Wow.
Don't want to take any more shit.
Took the early
You might have
retirement.
a lot.
UK did
Okay,
it.
say that.
UDW and then UK did it.
Okay.
Remember his father's shop right next to
Very
his
well. Very well. Very well.
But remember his father. What a
Yeah, my connection.
what a gentleman.
No.
That man was the man that got me responsible to lure me into the MYM.
Is it? Now, what happened?
Upstairs with the
There
table
was,
tennis
there
Friday
was
night.
through a house, there was a snooker competition. Everybody had to enter. And what happens? The draw comes. My round is again Mr. Musa Ghani. I ran away. They caught me and they brought me back. They want to Musa
I
Ghani.
caught me.
No, so he said, look, I'll let you in. He allowed me to in one shot. I'm not sure who
Go
it is.
in there.
I'm not sure
Go
who
to
it
the
is.
left where the engineers are. There's a little thing
No,
on there.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I think there was some discussion between Khalid Nawaz and who's that other guy? Our famous guy? Ali Basha and them. Come on.
Oh,
Khalud, Ridwan Khalud. Oh, Ridwan. Yeah, one of them. So he hit the shot. He hit one shot. He said that he cleared the table.
Boy, that's why I can't play. I hit one
I
shot and
literally
you.
ran away. Yeah? I ran away. My cousin Ashraf and then brought me back. And my father sitting there. I literally hit the shot. Don't come hit the shot. Open up. Okay. Ashraf, you join us?
I'll listen to you.
Are we on? Just check. Is he waiting for us?
I'm telling you.
Can you send messages if there's any?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Echoes of the Casbah. Our buddy Governor and our brother. Right, Faisal and I. Well, we got a special visitor that just popped in here. Many of you would know him if you lived in town. And that's our brother Ashraf Ghani. Assalamu alaikum Ashraf. How are you doing? Come here to the mic, Ashraf.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, all well, buddy.
Alhamdulillah, we are
Nice to
good.
see you guys.
The thing about the three of us is that we grew up together, isn't it? Not just literally, we grew up together. And you know, we always talk about your father, Ashraf. Faisal will tell you, I'm always mentioning your dad because those are some of the men that we can never forget, Faisal.
Definitely not.
So,
We learn,
absolutely. Yeah. But we learned a whole lot from him because, you know, I, for one, just his presence, his general presence. But now, Ashraf, tell us, I know where your father's shop was, but maybe you want to describe it even better.
Anybody who knows town would go to the corner of Grey Street and Victoria Street would have another shop right next to that.
Victory Lounge
Right
on the
next to
corner.
the Dixie Lounge on the corner.
In the Grey Street
The Grey
side.
Street side, the shop right next to Victory Lounge.
What was it called?
Initially, it was Jerry House, and then my father changed it to Max House. To follow his name, Musa Abdul Ghani and Sons.
Yes.
And somebody said to me that his surname wasn't Bell. It would have been Max House.
But now, so tell me, you go past there today, these days.
I go in now and again. I go past it.
Does that make you sick?
So totally different setup.
You know, your dad's shop, I remember, was immaculate. The shoes were set in that window.
We started initially with the imitation jewelry, watches, and ladies' earrings and bangles and stuff. And then he changed it to the ladies' shoes, skirts, and blouses. Yeah, shop was always kept on there.
And it was an immaculate shop, but like your dad was. And your mom. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially.
an immaculate pair they were.
And the district itself.
Tell us a little bit about the work he used to do at the Muslim Youth Movement, because I know you sit there.
It was called the Trust Voting Center.
Yes.
Upstairs, where that is found. Upstairs there.
Where,
Corner of Grey Street.
captains?
No,
What was that?
Landless Pharmacy.
No, before that.
Randy's pharmacy, it was called Capitan.
Captain's.
Yes,
Okay,
back in the
And
hotel,
they
yeah.
had traffic under there.
That's right. Yes. But it was Captain's Balcony Hotel, because that was how it was.
And then Musafir Khanna was there. When they opened the Trust Voting Center,
Yes.
we had 3 table tennis boards.
Yeah.
We had a snooker table. We had a gymnasium. We had a sauna.
Yes.
The balcony overlooking the city's place. And the membership fee, 70s, was 200 a month.
Well, Ashraf, I must sort of confess now, Basil, is that I was a member through Ashraf's father.
Yeah.
Anything.
I just wonder, in fact, all of us as students in college, we didn't pay. Someone paid for us.
Well, look, the fee was 200 a month. Whether we paid it or
Yeah.
not, but that's a different matter.
The reason I'm saying that is because I didn't know there was a fee. Your father never ever
First
told me
time
anything.
I had done the feet.
But then Ashraf, no one. Basil, yeah, was the man on the council.
Yes, definitely.
Dan was the man on the council that actually did stuff behind the scenes
And they
just
just
to make life good for us.
absolutely.
Now, Ashraf, the one thing I must tell you what I remember about that, Faisal, and was the table tennis was good. The snookers was good. On a Friday night.
Well, we had the two Uncle Souks.
Yes.
Two Uncle Souks that used to look after the place. Initially, it was Uncle Sukaji.
Yes,
Kaji's
yes,
father.
That's right.
So those were the two Uncle Souks that would look after the place. And then obviously in the evenings, certain evenings, we have the little cafeteria where they sell cool drinks and samosas that you talk about and some of the other things that went away. My late brother actually started his table tennis there.
Yes.
Probably
Yes.
around the age of 4 and a half
What a
or
table
5.
tennis player he became.
Stage, before she was 4 or 5 years old, we used to put a block,
Stand up.
small platform because you couldn't see over the net at that age. But yeah, we became one of the better stage.
So again, you're saying that there was a tap shop there where you could buy this samosas?
Well, you could buy a some to get to
So Faisal, who bought the samosas? Because I didn't pay for the samosas. Fond memories of eating samosas.
You guys seem to have been freeloading a hell of a lot out there.
Absolutely.
I think it was your dad.
In fact, we used to have our table tennis tournaments there.
Yes.
And we also used to play our table tennis league games over the weekends,
Okay.
weeknights as well.
Okay.
And it was fun. In fact, it was sort of for a while the home of the South African Table Tennis Union as well.
Okay.
We used to have our meetings there. We used to get excited. We had meetings. And it was undoubtedly fun.
But the beauty part of the Ashraf is that we would be there till whatever time.
Very late.
And then when you felt tired, we went home. And
The place was meant to close at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And I say that it was meant to close
I
at
don't
10.
think it ever closed down.
Anytime any of the Uncle Souks came to us and said, 15 minutes to go. And, 15 minutes turned
so
into
you
an
did
hour.
just now.
Yeah. One more
One more
game.
game. One more game.
You remember when we used to play football in the streets, Ashraf? Even if you were losing like 10-8 or 10-0, it was always last goal winner.
Yes.
So you could actually still win. And I mean, we invented that before golden goal. You know, FIFA came up with that.
The concept is the same.
Exactly. We invented that there.
That on the streets was fantastic. And then the Ramadan just started.
Oh, yes.
When you played till 3 in the morning, and
Yes.
the losing side had to buy seri at Mullah's Cafe. So you definitely didn't want to be on the losing side for
You know,
that.
we were talking about Ramadan a bit earlier, Asif, and you remember Grey Street Mosque was within like 20 steps from us. But a lot of people is got a May Street Mosque. You know why?
I always went to Greece. So
Oh, did you? Okay. But there was a Pulit Basa. And you would be up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you walk it back into Queen Street, they still halfway. You're like, game is on.
Game on.
The game is started. Okay.
Also, a lot of the boys from the now can play half the game in Cathedral Road.
Oh, yes.
Like Blue Passage.
Yes.
Cathedral Road had its own vibe and feel, isn't it?
So,
You know, it wasn't like the cathedral we know today because that freeway wasn't there. So there were more residential apartments and people would live there, and it's a pretty street, you know.
Beautiful. Very good. Like we used to play badminton after the Paris.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Badminton, and then we introduced table tennis. Now.
that was my karate dojo for almost 25 years on that
Okay.
first floor. And it was the floor had the markings for badminton and
Yes.
stuff like that. But then again, that was the beauty of it, Basil, is that the church allowed anyone to come and play there.
Yes.
The sports facility also allowed anybody. We weren't totally secular. We were one family in the Casbah. We didn't really mind what religion you were from.
Yep.
You then came in there, you enjoyed yourself, you respected each other, and you went away. And you know, one of the things I say today, Faisal, is if you want to show somebody your religion, don't tell them. Let them see you.
Yes.
And this is coming from back then. If you look at the gentlemen we knew, like Ashraf's father and a whole lot of other men, they set perfect examples without saying one word.
Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. You followed them. You
the other key I think we should remember is that we were part of the entire family. Right? So any adult was your parent.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so you walk down the street, you knew there were eyes on you.
Yes. You don't misbehave.
Wherever you walk, you would.
So remember, we used to stand downstairs to Rope Center. And if my father was coming, we would sort of straighten up
Yes.
and stand. And if your father would come and same thing. And you're quite right. We just had that respect for each other.
It was something school. Look at the cafe that was the way as you walked from one of those little streets.
School supplies.
It was, you know, as you're coming down closer towards Tower Street.
You was cross street?
In one of those, there was this one cafe.
Dinanas.
You know, and I was walking past there, and two guys were boxing it up. And stood and watched it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then took a walk back to the shop.
Yeah.
I got back to the shop. So what was your business? Stand there and watch this fight.
You said that.
How do you know? I just watched this a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
The entire community is watching.
That's right.
This is where
Everybody.
There were no cell
Everybody.
phones, anything to report at the time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
the pigeons did the job.
Exactly.
So, Ashraf, do you remember window shopping? We went.
Who wouldn't go down the street?
Absolutely. We were talking about window shopping the other day. But like you said, also the street football was something special. Remember, whoever had the ball when the cops came, the rule was you pick the ball up and run. Eh?
Well, if the cops picked you up with the ball, they could only take it. If they didn't get the ball on you, they would take you for the drive.
Yeah.
On one occasion, few of us were taken to a spring one where dropped.
Oh, wow.
And on one occasion, we were
Sugar Turtle.
Lovers.
Oh,
Then
those cops were wicked.
We
I
went-
remember Sugar
They
Turtle,
took us for long drives.
We went to Farah Cafe, I know that.
which was one of your favorite shops in town.
I think your OK Streets.
Oh, you remember
I
that?
know that whole corridor of streets that you walked into.
Yes.
If you could afford it. You know, it was always expensive and maybe. And then we're talking also about Lucky Lips and all the stuff, those type of things. Although we didn't, since Christmas was like not celebrated by everybody, everybody observed and acknowledged and respected. Same thing with New Year's. Everybody, although it's not our New Year, but during New Year's, you still knew it was a new, fresh approach. School was going to start. Ashraf, when New Year's was finished, like about the third, you would then start seeing back to school signs. And that was depressing, wasn't it? Because you knew the holiday.
Didn't you just start covering your books? Then you knew you were doing the case out for
each other, yeah.
You remember we used to buy our brown paper from Pula Brothers? Then you would go there, buy the brown paper, come back, put all the books down. That was a bit of a tedious thing.
How excited you were when you discovered to get those plastic covers
Oh,
pre-cut, and you just put them on.
What about those? What about when you finish sellotape everything and you couldn't close the book? You had that one. And you sort of cut pieces. Oh, we made a plan, didn't we? We always made a plan to do something. And tell me from a food perspective in town, where was the one place that you would regularly buy food from? If takeaways.
in town, 3 or 4 popular ones would have been Hamza's, Mullah's Cafe.
Which was the first choice.
Yes. What way?
Shiraz Arcade.
Tasty.
Remember, Tasty was school.
Okay.
Inside you consider street Labangi. You know you were safe when Labangi was around.
Yes.
What was your favorite thing that you used to buy at one of these takeouts?
Well, no, the only thing you can put together is probably put your coins together and get a bunny chow that you could share.
Yeah, we had to put money together.
Yes.
And then look, you put your cents together to get your bunny. When it hit the concrete, because you can eat it on the street.
Yes.
When it hit the concrete, if you didn't get your hand in there,
It's
gone.
So were you also one of the guys who supplied this butter bread and chips?
Oh yes, we always.
Yeah.
Everybody would get butter bread and chips and butter rolls and the twisters.
So we got a message from Shah Khan,
Yeah.
and he says that the same thing about street football. Remember, we used to play for a liter. A quarter.
Yes. Family size.
Yeah, family side. There was no liter, it was family side. Exactly. So the winning team would sort of take that and they would share it. And the losing team
Sit and lick their lips.
No, the losing team. And you enjoyed the thing with the backwash and everything.
and you know what? We had some good guys, Ashok, Jerry. And how can we forget him?
We can't. Look, Kerry and I were on the same floor. The night before, he was in 909, we were in 905. So
You know,
on the same floor.
Good Hope Center, when we talk about brothers, you and I mean, we are brothers, you know, we're not just the same manner of speaking. Do you remember the one thing that stands out for me was at Jerry's? We were all standing around, we covered the grave. Normally, when everybody covers the grave, then they leave. And we didn't arrange this, we didn't even talk about it. Everybody left, except us. And when we stood and we looked at each other, it was like,
One of the brothers that
absolutely.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we said, okay, guys, you know, when everybody goes, stay behind. No, it was everybody was there. We weren't even standing together, but we was there right on the edge. And then everybody was gone. It was just us. And how can we forget Jerry? Jerry was one of those guys that stand out, the top sportsman, top friend.
brilliant person. Being like you say, the top friend. That you get involved in it, absolutely was always there to support you.
You know, the one thing also was that he would correct your answers in a way, in a nice way. You know, one thing I remember from him, he said, when you stand, your feet must be straight forward, not sort of an angle. You know, those are some of the small things that today mean so much, you know, when you think about it, you know. Any memories of you that still stands out from town?
There's just so much. You know, just having yourselves, seniors, when I say seniors, yourself, Jerry, all the Ibrahim brothers, the government brothers. So we, if you remember the little passage in the red not the one outside,
Wembley Stadium.
where the fire escape was.
Wembley Stadium.
That's what we have as an 8 or 9
Yes.
quite a few years younger than you guys. So as an 8 or 9-year-old joining those little boys, those games, what that's so.
Incredible. Do you remember the one side where that big wooden meter. That was the big goal. That was the goal. Remember I sprayed a gold mouth. You know, it's still there. Can you believe it? We used to spend our entire holidays on that side, Faisal.
Luckily for me, Faisal, that these bigger boys played with the champion football. That wasn't so damaging to your body.
Because Frito,
They would shoot at the smallest boy
Stingers
sitting
in the
there,
goal.
and you're catching it. Yes, and you think to yourself, come on. But yes, they help you grow up.
Yeah.
Ashok, do you remember how we picked the sides? Always the top players we pick first.
Yeah.
Whoever's there, you didn't pick. You say you go there, you go there. That was the last two players.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
You didn't want to be the last few guys. But we got such good memories of living in town, Ashraf. Faisal and I talk about things like we talk about window shopping. We talk about standing downstairs Globe Center. Weddings.
Walking to school.
How many weddings you went to, Ashraf, that you didn't really know who was getting married?
Particularly those that were the audience when we were playing games in Ghana.
Exactly. You just mentioned that earlier.
After training at Avondale as well, we would come down to Orient. There's a wedding. We just walked in and sat down, and did anyone turn us away? Never. Today,
In fact, when they were doing the list, I mean, they knew that we were getting 13 days coming to Mabel grounds to just get that.
today, if it's you, your wife, and your 3 kids, some family weddings, you getting the invites is 2.
You know, the nature of the beast in terms of the way the weddings are set up now.
Yeah.
You know, that was crystal paper plates, and
Do you remember the one uncle? We were talking about it last week, but we got to talk about it again. He would stand at the one side of the table, and somebody will be on the other side, and you'll roll it.
Yes.
And the guy will catch it, put it in one hand, cut it. But there was always one uncle that was like the CEO. You know, he would say, water, bring the water, bring the dog, come here, come here.
in every company, you need somebody who's directing you.
Yes.
The weddings as well. And then, of course, there were the few that managed the art of looking good. You know, walk around with a
That's right. We very little, but Ashok, when you look back at this, Faisal,
Yep.
it was a movie. Okay?
Yep.
Isn't it? When we look back at our lives, Ashok, this was a movie. We spoke about this as well. You remember Globe Center, our flats?
Yes.
If you go in there now, you're actually proud to be living in such a small flat. We had one bathroom, we had one toilet. Did anyone get late? Today, we got 3 bathrooms, 3 toilets. Always, everybody's late.
on time.
Exactly. Oh, we had such a good life. Ashok.
The key, I think, for all of those times of flats, what I was having is that we have, it happened naturally.
Yes.
It's almost like
We didn't force it. It wasn't forced on us.
It wasn't forced on us. It just happened naturally. So the friendship developed naturally. The sport developed naturally. So when you say it's like a movie, you look back at it and you say, yes, it's a movie. But you don't remember anybody pushing the dials.
Nothing. Forcing any issue.
Nothing was
Everything just flowed. And you know, little did we know behind the scenes that life was easy for our parents.
No, it was definitely difficult. They had to go to a lot to just make sure everything was okay with us. And we took it for granted. Because we didn't realize it.
we didn't know it was happening.
Yes. In fact, we also just took it as being normal. Fathers are supposed to be working, you know, they're supposed to be providing for us. They want something to do out there. We just took it as normal. We didn't realize that, you know, they had to work for it.
My dad, before Riviera food, everybody was Riviera man. Everybody was eating Riviera by those. But he worked for Coke when I was smaller. You know, you would also bring home Cokes. I think the people that work for Coke, they will be taking home 2 Coke. You know, I thought we owned the Coke.
Yes.
I really thought was the owner of Coca-Cola. Until I found out, it was like a huge letdown for me. We don't own Coke. So lovely to have you chat with us. Give us confirmation on the ground what we talk about. Allah bless you and your family.
I was just
And a special salams to your mother. Okay.
Jazakallah, thanks for having me, guys. Assalamu alaikum.
That's Ashraf Ghani. That's right. From everybody would know him from town. We grew up together. Faisal, you included with us.
Yes, you can think of it.
Well, it's that time again. Before we know it, it's time is up. That's right. Another edition, inshallah, next Friday. We'll come back and post the Casbah at the same time, or more or less. So do keep tapping us. We'll let you know.
Yes,
That's right. And inshallah, you can get me at 3 o'clock. Coming down to the Durban Summer Souk area, it will be bustling. Remember, this is the last. Get some of the shops dropping prices, hopefully.
Yes,
You're not going to win. You're going to be in it to win it. Tonight, you're going to face up to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nice, Masha. Very good. Excellent.